On the line from OWN's new breakout reality series, Love Goals, is the beautiful Sundy and Breyon. How are you both?
We are amazing. I'm amazing. Bree, I don't want to speak for him. We're blessed, really favorite, all of the above. Just happy to be here.
What do you two do to stay sane during this time? Are you guys, recoupling and getting to know each other again? Or are you guys contentious?
We're doing a bunch of things, projects, you name it, game night, quarantine parties, you keep going because
what do we got? Painting.
Chocolate
covered strawberries.
I'm very domesticated all of a sudden. Yeah, I'm used to going out to eat on like dates, so we have to improvise and have, dates within the house or outside or whatever the case is. Our birthdays actually came 3 days apart in March. So we wanted to go to Bora Bora. So I had to bring Bora Bora to the backyard. You have to get creative.
I like this. Sundy, you're no stranger to the reality world, but Bree, you're new to the scene. So what made you decide to sign up for Love Goals?
I guess I just wanted to, for one, I needed to get everything back right with me and my girl. Because we had we had some bumps in the road that we had to fix. So when when we were talking about we would get an opportunity to have therapy, I was all in. I've never had therapy before. I never really thought I needed it, but going through the sessions and the 2 weeks, I would definitely recommend therapy for everyone.
Yeah,
man, so would I. Now, Sundy, I'm curious, were you worried at all that this might hurt your relationship more than it could have helped, or were you always hopeful?
I was always hopeful because we've always had that open line of communication. So there was no secrets. There's nothing that Bree didn't know besides the fact of what my childhood trauma was. I never shared that. And I didn't share that because I just felt like with everything else, the negativity and people come at us and, they try to sway him this way or sway him this way and try to project me to be this negative, horrible person, which I'm absolutely not. I actually didn't feel comfortable sharing such an intimate, it's not intimate, but,
Traumatic.
just something, it's traumatic and sacred. Like it happened to me and I kind of like wanted to bury it and not really like bring it up and bring it within our situation.
Is that something you never thought you'd bring up with Bree?
That didn't go over well. That didn't go over well. I'm sorry.
Well, no, I was going to say, was that something that you never thought you'd share with Bree unless you kind of had a therapist? Did you want to share, what happened to you as a child?
I actually didn't want to share what happened with me as a child. I just didn't feel like it fit with what we had going on. If we're moving in a positive direction and I feel a certain way, I didn't want to bring that heavy baggage into our relationship that, we're making progress.
Right. Honestly, I think it was really helpful even for the audiences to watch that. I'm really just, proud and honored to be able to witness that. And thank you for being so vulnerable. That must have taken a lot of guts. And, this season, one of the things you mentioned, Bree, was not knowing or having a relationship with your father. And on last week's episode, Dr. Spirit actually was able to find your 3 brothers, which was incredible. In that moment, what was it like to hear that news?
In the moment, I felt like I had really mixed reviews. On one end, I was very happy and I was excited. And then in the next moment, I was kind of like, I was a little afraid, like, I don't know what to expect. I don't know how they're going to come at me. I never met this man before. So it was a lot in the air. But once I came out and I went downstairs and Sundy and I talked, she kind of, talked me into it. Like, you're owed an explanation, don't be so closed in, you need to be more open, can't hurt you, 33 years has already passed. So what could happen now?
What more damage could be done?
Right. Exactly. And like, it's good that you have that support system there and that she's supporting you. I'm curious, have you and your brothers been able to, now you're just making me jealous. I'm alone by myself. I got nothing over here. Damn. Curious, Bree, have you and your brothers been able to grow a relationship outside the show at all?
The sad thing, we really haven't been able to grow a relationship. you know, from when we met in the house, everything was all, you know, we're going to stay in contact. We're going to do this. We're going to do that. But since we left the house, you know, I rarely hear from the guys. You know, the only time I hear from them is, hey, when's the episode going to air? Or, you know, one of the guys wanted to borrow some money. So it's just kind of one of those things where it's like, all right, I got to put my wall back up.
Yeah, and that would make sense. I mean, I'm sorry to hear that. That has to be, you know, vulnerable in its own way. But with that being said, do you regret meeting them at all?
I don't, because I feel like, you know, and I want to keep a positive mind frame. I feel like in due time, the relationship would, you know, the relationship's going to be what it is. You know, hopefully we can all come together and just be a family. Definitely open to that, because, you know, although that I experienced the trauma, they experienced it themselves. So, you know, I definitely have to keep that in mind.
And also, I feel like everybody's intention, you know, their intentions have to be correct. You know what I mean? Yeah. So if your intention is correct and your heart is correct, I feel like they can actually work through it. You just can't have ulterior motives. You can't, you know, have an opportunist mentality. Like, that's not okay. Right. And again, just like Bree said, they've all been through the same exact thing with their father, you know? So I'm just happy that I was there to be, you know, his support system and just be able to give him that safe place to, you know, just express himself if he wanted to, or if he didn't, you know, whatever it was, I was just there just to listen and just to help and support.
And I think if I wasn't there, I probably wouldn't have got all emotional, you know. She gave me that, you know, that comfort zone to where it's like, all right, it's okay. You know, if you need to shed a few tears, go ahead. So I felt comfortable in that moment, or in the pantry.
Well, listen,
I'm like, come here, right. come over here, come over, like away from everybody. You know what I mean? Right. Like, this doesn't need to be in front of the group. Let's do this over here.
Yeah, I mean, because healing can be done in the pantry.
Oh yeah,
yeah, it's okay. Exactly. And my thing is this too. You know how sometimes like you ask for something and you think you want that, but then you get it and it's kind of like, I really didn't want that. I feel like that's how Breyon felt, you know? And so it happened so fast. It was just like, well, wow, it took 48 hours for them to find out and locate where his father was. And then on top of that, 3 brothers.
Yeah. I mean,
that was a lot. That was a lot of information to like take in at one time for me. So imagine Bree.
Yeah, of course. I want to jump back into what you said about the group, you know, and almost pulling them away, because while there is definite some healing going on, you know, certainly in the pantry between you two, there's also a lot of drama in the group. And Sundy, what is going on with you and Benzino? What is going on with Benzino, period? But what's going on with you and Benzino?
Okay, here's the thing, right? Benzino is riding this lie that me and him have had an intimate relationship, which we never did. I've offered to take a lie detector test, like you name it, just so we could just put this whole nonsense to an end, because it's realistically defamation of character. So nothing is going on. I just feel like because I've worked with him before, I've worked with Althea before, I know their characteristics. I know how they, you know, what pushes their buttons. I know his behavior, you know, somewhat childlike when he doesn't get his way, or when he's not getting enough camera time, or, you know, if he feels like he's being ganged up on, he really takes that and he heightens every single situation. So nothing is going on. It's just, I'm going to stand up for myself.
Sundy and Bree, thank you so much for joining me today. I love your love so much. You guys are such an inspiration in this dark time. I really appreciate it. People, make sure you catch the season finale of Love Goals this Saturday at 9/8 Central on OWN. And of course, the reunion Love Goals, the final sessions, will be directly after that at 10/9 Central. Be sure to stay tuned for that as well.